That's what we have to learn to do as society is, and sadly I know better, but for whatever reason I felt a need, because initially, y'all, I was just posting to talk about my experience, and then the comments, I allowed the comments to take me into a place that we shouldn't have been, as a customer. If we genuinely had grievances, you should have aired that to the organization. I should have aired that to the organization instead of posting online, because when you have to go through the public opinion or ridicule, it can be a bit much. So I did apologize to her for that, and I'm apologizing now even publicly for that. So the biggest takeaway I got from this is, for us calling it a money grab, we can no longer say that, because she admitted to me those bands that were there, they weren't there on their own expenses. The big HBCU organization pays for them to come there. They pay for their buses, they pay for their hotels, and they receive an honorarium from the school, from the big HBCU, to be there. So one thing that I'm learning more and more and more, that when it comes to offering your perspective, there's so many factors that we miss and don't know. So I just got off the phone with big HBCU, one of their board members. We talked on the phone for an hour, and I told her I would definitely go online and share within parameters what she shared with me. And at the end of the day, y'all, when an organization comes into your city and plans an event, sometimes they don't have a team, a big enough team, to accommodate what they did not anticipate, the amount of enthusiasm and the amount of participation. And they, as an effort to make it seamless, you try to collaborate with certain entities within the city and within the venue to make it a better experience. And it was admitted to me that did not happen while they were in Jackson, and that did not happen when they were in Columbia. Think about how much it costs. Bethune-Cookman alone has 7-8 buses, and they had a hotel for all of those 400 kids. Add up that bill. So the big HBCU did not make all this money y'all think they made. Now, they do understand that logistic-wise, there's a lot of things they need to work on, to the point they're hesitant about going forward to do other events. But definitely, one thing that they can attest for, they did not sell over 10,000 tickets. But what I can attest for, and some of y'all were bold enough to say in the comments, is y'all walked in there without scanning a ticket. So they even admitted Friday they were not anticipating the crowd they got on Sunday. And we discussed that too. The fact that sales need to be cut off at a certain point. Also, they paid for certain things to be in place, certain people to be in place, services that required people to be in place. And so it's not like they just came in and weren't trying to pay people. No, they paid people, y'all. And again, I cannot share everything that was told to me. So she did encourage, if you go to bighbcu.com, they have an email address. Matter of fact, I'm debating whether I'm gonna have my comments on, because y'all are doing the most of my comments. I'm not over this organization. I've been sharing, and y'all have gone ham in the comments. So if you legit have a concern about what happened and how it happened, and let me tell you how this conversation started. I wake up and going through Instagram, and sadly that's what I do every morning. I need to stop doing that. Shouldn't be the first thing I do when I wake up. But going through my phone notifications, my messages, and Instagram, I see this long message, very respectful, very tactful, I would love to speak with you. And I said, sure, gave her my number, because they do feel like what I was putting out there was slander, because they did only sell so many tickets. But from my perspective, it was like, but you couldn't accommodate all these people. So we're not understanding. Okay. So they did admit that tickets definitely need to be cut off at a certain time, and that people shouldn't be allowed to buy tickets. People bought tickets the day of, they admitted. You can't do that with an event like that, and you're not sure of the seating. So we talked on the phone. I looked after we hung up. It was almost an hour. It was an hour. She poured out her heart and soul on the mission of big HBCU and what they're trying to accomplish. And it's bigger than Battle of the Bands. If you go to their website, you will see it's bigger than Battle of the Bands. But one thing, when people say, well, I want my money back, they may be able to accommodate it. They may not. And one of the reasons why they may not is because every single band that was there, big HBCU paid for them. Another thing that she mentioned, that she admitted WIS, that story, some of the things that were communicated in the interview were not communicated what y'all saw in the interview. What I'm trying to say is, you know how anybody who can edit, chop it up, and do whatever can cut certain things to angle the story to look a certain way. So I even recommended her to get their president. He needs to do his own interview. Like, he needs to get with someone to interview him to break down the mission of HBCU, their purpose, what all they do financially, what do they do when they put on these events, really give us a behind the scenes to help us understand more, even the logistics. And because people are going ham on social media. So now, if I had to do all over again, I should have done, and honestly, I've gone by that model. I don't know why I felt the need to do this, but usually, like, when I'm at a business establishment, whether it's a restaurant, and I never forget going to this one restaurant when me and this guy I was dating at the time, and we noticed how we were the only Black people there, and the person, we did not get served. We sat at our seats, I don't know how long. So we left, and he's in the restaurant business, so he easily was like, they should have tapped our table within 30 seconds or a minute or something. It's a math he broke down. And he said, so I inboxed the restaurant and said, this was our experience. I don't know, you're trying to convey that you only serve a certain type of customer. And they profusely apologized and invited us to come in, and we got a free, anything we wanted, we got it when we came back. And be mindful of what you say and how you say it when you don't know everyone's perspective and you don't know what was going on. So again, they weren't trying to, it wasn't a money grab. And again, go on their website, learn more about them. If you legit have a complaint, contact them. The email address is on their website, bighbcu.com. Reach out to them, and they will try their best to get back with you and contact you. But I think one of the reasons why she reached out to me is because there was a lot of traction on my feeds. And she took the time. So I don't know who that other troll was, but she definitely took the time to look at my account and see what I was about to see. I wasn't trying to scandalize this company. I was just sharing the grievances that were shared with me and sharing my grievances. But I definitely regret that, because normally I don't do that. And we just got to do better. We want people to prosper, and then also providing grace.